little bit confused there. So we'll try that one again. We'll start with 3, 2, 1, go.
Are you sure it's a good idea to follow Killer Croc into a sewer?
Got to find out what he's up to. Let's go.
Oh. So as I was saying, this is one of the few LEGO games that actually has a skip in the first level. Most of them end up being... Most of the first levels in the LEGO games basically just end up being a tutorial level where nothing much happens.
Time to clean this place up a little.
However, in this one, because we have a double jump with Robin, we can abuse a lot of things, surprisingly. There we stand on the edge of the stairs, so when we pull the rope we end up going a bit further down. It's just tiny optimizations for movement's sake. So here we can just jump straight up. We don't need Batman to do anything for that. He's meant to pull the water up, so you can use the plants in the water to get
This place is
across.
still damaged from the last time we fought the Joker.
There was a lot of senseless destruction that day.
So here we're just abusing platforms that aren't sloped, so you can stand on them. And then the fact that the wall doesn't encompass the entirety of these pillars here, so you can stand on them and move across to places where you're not meant to. So swimming is actually faster in this game, so we'll jump into the water as fast as possible to get over here instead of taking the land route. And doing all that, we've skipped 2 lots of puzzles in the area. Each of them take a couple of minutes each. So you end up dropping a 5 or 6 minute level down to a 2-minute level, and then there's a sort of boss fight at the end here with the Killer Croc. I say it's a sort of boss fight because you've just got to build something and shoot it at him when he's on a certain platform.
Is it just me, or does Killer Croc seem a little bigger than before?
The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
But yeah, I want to
that old
pound
cliche
that
makes me
brick
feel so
before you trigger the cutscenes, then you actually start pounding it. Otherwise your animation gets cut out halfway through and you don't start breaking it.
We'll see about that, Killer Croc. It's time to face justice.
We use the time that it takes to detect the button to go and break some stuff.
Good thing I have friends in low places.
And then we'll take this time to get Batman, to get Robin ready.
Smash you real good. Come here, Roadhead.
So whilst using most action button actions, so anywhere it would say B, X, or A, something like that, you're basically invincible to all damage. They can swing at you and everything, but nothing will
That
happen.
should do it. We need to hit him when he's vulnerable.
So now that we've got that built, we've done it in good time, so we can just start spamming X as soon as we start climbing into the cannon. So that was first level. Now we're moving on to Breaking Bats, which is the only boss level with a boss battle in it that actually has a skip. We can somehow glitch out the fight by turning away from the boss when hitting him, and it sort of just nullifies the cutscene that you would have to go through.
He'll destroy the entire Batcave.
Not if we stop him first, Alfred. Let's see if we can get his attention. No use being stuck down here. Maybe we can get closer to him somehow.
You also want to take advantage of the fact that during the start of cutscenes, in transitions like that, you aren't actually stopped from moving your character. So you get as close as you can to where you want to be next before the cutscene starts. So now I'm going to hop onto this thing here and climb up here. We're aiming to get over to the sledge here, but there's rocks in the way, so we need to get rid of them first.
Oh, I'm TB's out west. Don't suppose you could lend me a hand?
Climb across those railings and get over here, which skips the puzzle down on the bottom right where Alfred's meant to do some stuff. Because the only trigger for it is getting close to Batman. Nothing else has to happen to that point. Here, however, the trigger is the bridge up to Batman, not getting close to Batman as the trigger. So what we have to do is we have to build the computer here in order to trigger the next part. However, things are able to be compressed even if the screen isn't showing, so you can start moving the mouse beforehand. And it's activating the bridge. And then you can press Y to decouple from the computer and move into position.
Oh dear, he's disappeared into that cave.
Can't follow him in the dark. It's too dangerous.
Agreed. I believe there is a suit around here for
So we
such
don't
an
need
occasion.
much light here, we just need to illuminate this part here. So we just take a little bit of light to save time.
I see he's still familiar with the Batmobile defense systems.
And then we do the same here. We need to light up over in that bottom left corner. But we don't need much light, so we'll just take a little bit. And start heating stuff up so then we can get the buildable bricks. So I have been working on
This is no time
ways to
go
get up to that elevator in the top left over there, which is what moves you on to the next section. However, after some testing in free play, it seems that the elevator is a triggered event where Batman already needs to have moved up, and you need to activate a cutscene putting out some flames in order for the elevator to actually work. So what you need to do is actually find a way further up to see if anything would happen up there. Which again I've tried certain things and none of it actually works. It's all trigger, 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 so
Much for that.
you can't sort of sequence break on this part of the level. So this is the cutscene I'm talking about. You've got to build this, which extinguishes the flames down on the bottom of the stairs, which then lets Robin up the stairs. because you need both characters in order to trigger the elevator here. So just a little bit of time optimization where you can get through the back of here and stand on the platform. You also want to try and be Robin here. I'm actually going to change seat here because there is something that can happen because of the awkwardness of building certain things. So I'm not actually triggering the worst thing possible. Like finding where to build this thing from can be just a real pain because it seems to change every time you do it. But it seems to be based on where the Lego bits are. So it's more trial and error than anything.
We're running out of bat vehicles.
We must get to the Batwing control center. It's our only chance.
So the same again as here, where you just got to sort of find the position that you need to be building from. And it's just a pain sometimes. I'm going to change through the menu because it's going to be faster than just toggling through them. And then I can leave Batman, I'll leave Robin there because we need to be over at that position anyway to go up the bridge. So instead of moving to one place and then moving back to another, we just stay in the position that we need to be in. We've actually sucked up 14 of the Lego bits that we needed from the other side, so we shouldn't need to suck up as many here. So there is a sort of force field here where the back computer is going to build itself, so I just try and push myself as far as to it as we can, so we're not wasting time.
Coming right up.
Apparently dive rolling is quite fast in this game, faster than just normal running. So, especially on these large flat areas, we're going to try and use that as much as possible. You've got to be careful where you land there because there is a fall-away platform underneath you, which we accidentally fell down, which means we'll lose a couple of seconds there. If you don't accidentally die there, then you can get onto that rising platform as it's rising, then you don't have to go around it and jump up everything. It just saves a couple of seconds, but it's a nice little optimization that you can do. And I wish I could get these little cutscenes, but they use these cutscenes to position your characters into places, like moving us down here.
Before Master Bruce decides to destroy it.
So don't have to move anything here, just hold down the X button and shoot. And then we move on to the actual
No,
boss
you can
battle.
even do that.
So here, we want
I've never seen Bruce
Robin
act
to try
this
and
way.
stay
Gotta be
over
something
on
messing
the
with his
left
mind.
side,
I do hope Master Bruce isn't upset.
which
that I
seems to
used
be
the
RNG how the
grocery
AI
shopping.
acts here. I've had times where I'll stand over here and Robin will stay basically over on the far left. I've had times where I'll just hover around the save point over there in the middle, and I've had times where I'll just come back and forth and you just hope that he's where he needs to be for the time that he needs to be there. Which it doesn't look like it's going to be, so we're going to take control of him here.
Now is our chance.
We have to be sure this is going to work. For Master Bruce's sake.
So this is going to explode and probably knock me either downstairs or off the edge. Fortunately, it knocked me down the stairs, so I don't have to wait to respawn. So here's the boss skip. Ground pound whilst we're facing away from him, and he doesn't seem to trigger the next part. So we can do that twice and then punch him. So now we're moving on to the first level that doesn't actually have any skips in them. Like, because this is a New Game Plus, there are certain things that we don't have to do that save a little bit of time. But there's no actual skips that we can do throughout the level to skip an entire area or something.
I'm afraid the bat rocket isn't quite ready for takeoff.
Why does this always happen when we're in a hurry?
We'll need to fix up the rocket if we're going to save the others. Must be a way
So
to
you
get
can't
rid
change
of that
suits
glass.
whilst you're in
Breaking
this
glass.
transition,
Isn't that bad luck?
but you can use your attacks.
Mirrors are made of glass.
So you can try and use said attacks to break those metallic objects. So use Batman again here. Now, since this is a New Game Plus, you could actually skip this if that wasn't a piece of the ship that you need up there. But unfortunately, you do need to do it. I don't know what happened there. So we'll just say, okay. We are hoping that we're not going to soft lock here as well, because there are certain places throughout this game that you can soft lock on, and I believe this is one of the levels that you can do it on when getting certain Lego pieces out. And I also soft locked in the big grapple where we had Killer Croc break something off, but the trigger behind it that you needed to break didn't actually activate, meaning that you couldn't break it and you couldn't continue on with the level, basically.
Bad news. The rocket's out of fuel.
What? But how do we get this thing to the gas station?
Robin, we have fuel. We just need to hook it up to the rocket.
Oh!
So we're just going to break these to get the Lego pieces inside them. From there. And then I believe there is more than enough here. That you don't need to worry about picking them all up. Yeah, it looks like there's about 35 there. So don't worry about picking them all up, just go for the big clumps and you should have enough really. Still need Batman for this bit, so we'll keep on it. We still need this suit, so we'll stay on Batman again. Again, I wish you could skip some of these small cutscenes, the ones that they aren't using to position your characters. Just because you see them over and over again.
Almost done. Just need to attach the top of the rocket.
But how are we gonna get up there?
I can use the jetpack you're reaching. My spacesuit should be around here somewhere.
So we'd usually have to use a drone to go into that blackened area at the back there. But again, because this is New Game Plus, we don't actually have to. We've just got to use the bat suit to get to the fuel canisters, which are nicely stored in. And again, as with everything, we don't need a lot of it, so we just grab what we need and then move on by pressing Y to decouple from it. We will need Robin in a minute, so we'll break this open for him. He drops down the ladder. And then we break this open to build that computer.
That symbol.
Well, when you're the one with the laser, you can decide what shape to cut. We need the security access code. We'll have to override the vacuum here.
So we activate the acrobatic sticks for Robin to use. We need to change out the suit because he doesn't have, that suit doesn't have the wing stick to use. And then we have another one of these front sections. Unfortunately, this one doesn't have any skips because it's all sort of mazes and gaps rather than anything special. So we're just going to roll a lot here, try and speed ourselves up. Rolling is faster, but you lose a bit of control, especially when you're in the roll animation. You don't have much movement then. Press once you made that. If you're fast enough, you can obviously make that cycle. However, on this bit, you can't make the third cycle. It's too fast for you. It'll start going down, and the dive rolls that you do will just send you bonking into the next platform in front of you. So we wait for that to drop down, and then ride the next cycle. And because it's a set speed, we just run along until the end, in which we can dive across.
All right, did it.
And then I don't know what it depends on here, but sometimes the game will place you down by the bridge to the Bat Rocket. Sometimes you'll have to go there yourself. If we do have to move there ourselves, we'll take Batman with the spacesuit, so we can just fly down there.
Do be careful, Samus. Don't worry, Alfred. We will be.
However, it looks like they've been placed there, or at least Batman has. So we'll take Batman. So that's the first section. You'd actually think that was a full level. However, this is the longest level in the game. As you can see, it takes about 20 minutes on its own. That's not including cutscenes.
On the Watchtower's weapon systems? Now that is just so rude.
Careful, Robin. Take evasive action.
So here you've got a sort of shmup level, and as you destroy more of these mouths, your weapon gets upgraded to a spread shot basically.
Hang on, Robin. Watch out for any incoming fire.
So really you want to try to use that as much as possible. There is an arrow here that will sort of direct you to where the next enemies are, but it can be a little awkward to follow sometimes.
I've got some friends
There we
with
go.
me today, Batman.
So sometimes it can be quick, sometimes you have to go hunting for them.
Ah, the old ones are the best.
I don't know what's worse. These things attacking us, or Joker's annoying.
So now you've got these little cans of dynamite over the place. So I'll usually try and find those first before worrying about the mouths, because you'll usually take out a lot of those enemies whilst you're actually trying to take out the flying TNT.
You must retreat. The Joker is... Oh, I'm sorry. We're not taking any more callers on Joker Radio today. Do try again tomorrow.
So you end up getting these rockets here to take out the stuff that isn't on the actual path this time. So you've got to defeat these little flying enemies in order to collect them. Sometimes they'll be nice and just continuously give you them. Sometimes they won't be. You have to go around hunting for them.
Think outside the box. Or should that be a jack in the box?
So now we've got the little boss.
Is that thing?
Yeah, it's not particularly hard. What you've got to do is wait for him to go around a couple of cycles and then shoot a missile at
We need to
him.
look for a weak spot.
So what you want to try and do is grab a missile as fast as possible, and then you just sit up at the top of the screen, because the boss can't actually reach the top of the screen. Once he's done firing 4 missiles off at you, he will then stop and become vulnerable basically. Doing an extra bit of cycle, so we go around to meet him to try and stop him as fast as possible. So there's a missile here, so we go and grab that whilst we wait for the other one to hit. And then we'll try and clear up here. Whilst he's not around, I'm going to try and build up my bullets again. And then we've got another missile here. So I'm just going to sort of ignore these for now. We need to get into a bit more of the cycle, and then we turn around and meet them again. And there we go, that wasn't so bad. So this area is designed not to be flown around, and even on free play, any characters that you could use to fly over certain areas, they're actually grounded. There is literally no flying in this area. So I have seen a couple of videos where Flash is glitched up the invisible wall, but there is never a video where it shows a reproducible version of it. So what we need here is missiles, and then because things are rotating, you've sort of got to follow around with the against them in order for you to actually shoot them. And even then it can be really awkward because your character will automatically try and punch things rather than shoot his missile. So I was already I'm going to go with Flash here and run around to the cutscene figure, which triggers the next part of the level. The Cyborg has a laser beam on all of his suits, so we switch to him rather than
Stand back, I'll have this thing built now. Go on, Cyborg.
Batman. Just so we could always be able to shoot our laser, no matter the circumstances really. More personal preference because Batman's stuck in his spacesuit with his laser anyway.
We made it. I wasn't worried. Not even a little bit. Totally. We're not done yet. Let's open this hangar door.
Well, like I said, no matter what suit Cyborg is in, he has his laser beam, so we don't need to switch away from him. He also has his own spacesuit, so you don't need to worry about Batman here.
We are awesome. No, we're super awesome. No, absolutely. We're mega, super, ultra, incredible.
You need to make sure you press yourself onto that button there, otherwise you can't do this bit. Now here, since Cyborg has the fuel, we're going to take him over to the other side. Because both Batman and Cyborg can destroy these. They both have demolition suits. However, only one of them has the fuel. So now we just need Flash to activate this code mod here. And we are meant to use that magnet pulley bit in order to build a bridge for Flash. However, Flash is a fast character, which means he has a really long jump. So what you can do is you can jump up on here and just dive over.
That's more like it. Time for a little
Good work, Flash.
And there we go. That is third level completed. Now we're on to Space Station Infestation, which is basically 3 varieties of boss battles. you sort of got a regular boss battle where you deal hearts of damage to them in the first part, and then you have sort of quick time events, boss battle in the second part, and then you've got a life bar based boss battle in the third part. So we've got to wait around here for Firefly to actually do something. So in that time we go and take out the enemies around the area, really. Just so they're not annoying us.
There has to be something around here we can use to defeat Firefly.
We need to start fighting fire with, water, I guess.
My precious flames! You
So
ruined
Firefly's
them. I'll
hitbox
get you for
is
this.
the middle of his torso. However, he's invincible when you doused out some of his flames because he wants to reignite them. So anytime he's got his back turned to you, you can't do any damage to him.
No, stop it! It's
So you want
not
to try and
my
avoid
knife.
dousing out any of his flames
Too
if you
bad.
can.
I think he was warming to you.
Seriously? Are you proud of what you just said?
Not really.
Maybe we can use the water cannon to get past this flaming wreckage.
You don't need to actually put out any of that fire, but I like to just make things easier.
You again! Don't you know this kitty has claws?
Cheetah, I implore you. Abandon your evil ways and join with me in sisterhood.
Sorry, but I already have new friends, and they like being bad. You're not going anywhere!
So I used Wonder Woman there to take the heat there, just because the Flash is faster and they both end up being a distance apart. Then I'd rather have
You're not going
Flash
anywhere!
there in order to actually deal with it. Just to save time
How do we get her down now?
on the
You might
movement
be able to
distance.
deflect that laser beam towards her with my bracelets.
She needs a bowl of milk in a really long room.
I'll make you pay for that! I've got you now! Get her off me! I've got you now! Flash! Get her off me!
You can run.
There we go. That's the first part done.
Guess we'll have to take the stairs then.
Here we only have a couple of small skips.
Good point. We need to override the elevator controls. Quick!
However, they skip the left side basically entirely.
Yes, and
If
the
we were on
air
a
conditioning
any
goes
percent
upwards
run,
too. Wait,
we would have to still go up there and get one of Cyborg's suits. However, because we've already got all the suits, we don't have to worry about that. And the suits are shared, so if Cyborg and Robin were to be sharing a suit, then we would be able to use the suit as well. So Cyborg and Robin share the magnet suit, so as soon as you collect that suit with Robin, you can use it on Cyborg as well. Now this is entirely possible without breaking that. I don't know why it's not breaking. However, sometimes it can just be easier to do so. And sometimes it just takes a lot of tries. There we go. So as I said, Cyborg always has a laser in his suit, even in his giant form.
Oh man, my circuitry isn't compatible with this access port.
But my Robin drone should be. Prepare to be jealous.
So we could use Robin's magnet suit, like I said there. However, the magnet suit is really slow to use, so we can just do exactly the same skip, but easier with Robin. And we don't have to worry about living
yes,
here,
yes, it worked.
Cool. From bird boy to bellboy, right?
because we're
Let's get
automatically
after those
moved down
twins.
there. You do want to try and forego as much fighting as possible, so we just come and stand on here. Hope that Cyborg doesn't get stuck between enemies. If it takes more than a few seconds to get to you, you want to switch to him and put him on the panel himself, because Robin will stay on the panel that
Sounds
you're
like they're
putting them.
planning a welcoming committee for us.
Ha! Talk about your spoilers. Let's crash this surprise party.
Isn't this the part of the surprise party where they turn the lights on?
Either it's a localized power outage, or they really like building suspense. How's that illumination suit of yours, Robin? It might be what we need to light the way. Night vision is offline.
Yikes!
I'm gonna
It's
need
too
some
big
light
for
to
me
see what we're
fight.
doing.
Cyborg, help!
My suit's extra large mode should even the odds a little.
So near the end of that
It's
cutscene,
too
you
dark
actually
to see
regain
anything.
control of
I should
Cyborg,
put my
so
illumination.
you can start swapping through the suits in order to get to the giant suit quicker. And then this is what I mean by a quick time boss. It's just a few quick time triggers.
Booyah! Now to find Croc.
He must be here somewhere. I can smell him.
That hurt my ears, you little...
What ears? Go get him, Cyborg.
And now we're on to the third part, where we have a life bar boss, where you've got to get him down a certain amount of life in order to trigger a certain thing to happen.
Is this the end for our heroes? Tune in, same Joker time, same Joker channel!
So I like using Superman here,
Joker arch-villain
because
of yours. You want to trade?
the laser beams do a lot of damage really quickly.
Batman, time for door number 2.
So as long as your positioning is good,
Delicious it is!
then you can go through these enemies really quickly.
Superman taken down by the clown prince of crime!
Unfortunately, Batman can actually get into those quite often, depending on where the enemies are coming from.
Fools don't even deserve identical clothes! Let's bring out our final challenge!
Like my latest upgrade, Superman? Now let's see how you handle a fair fight.
So again,
You're not
keep
going
using
to
my laser
escape this
beams,
time, Superman.
or heat vision, or whatever you want to call it, because it works very well at getting rid of
I
hell
won't
on
rest
enemies.
until the world is rid of menaces like you, Superman.
Once he starts moving to another position, it's usually when he has health active, so he can start damaging them again.
It's been fun, Superman, but I'm afraid playtime is over.
So it's not just the Flash that can build things really quickly. Superman, the man who is faster than speed and train, can also do that.
Hey, I remember that outfit. Electric suit, right? An electroconductive discharge suit, actually. It allows me to... Like I said, electric suit. An EMP should shut that suit down. It's got no power.
I can power the EMP up, but I need the charge from that platform, and I can't get to it.
Leave it to me.
So things are pretty simple for the rest of the level. You just got to get up to that platform, charge up, and then discharge on this. And that's the boss fight done.
No! Can't be happening!
So we're still doing pretty well here. We're not on our best time that we've had, but where's the big one? There it is. Because we actually had a soft lock on this level at one point. So the gold splits up to this level, and not including this level, are from that run. So from this level onwards, we should hopefully end up getting some more gold splits.
He's coming to clean his bill. Now.
Since we know what we're doing this time. First run, I was still getting used for everything. But this run, if I remember everything, I should hopefully get gold splits on the rest of these levels. And all of these puzzles always stay the same. Any puzzle on the screen is always the same. Everything's in the same position. So as long as you remember what needs doing where, then you can usually rotate them through. And I accidentally rotated this one too much. Lost a little bit of time there. And I'm not sure what makes it trigger several times. Maybe just holding down the X button activates what idea hovering over at the same time. This level also really doesn't have much in terms of skips, because everything is designed around each section having at least one flying character of sorts.
We need to reach the elevator
So
controls.
we've got Wonder Woman here,
Whoa!
we have
Fools! I'll find something we can use to get past.
Superman in the third section, I believe. And then you have Cyborg and Batman who can fly if you have the sheet activated for it. Problem with Flash is that he's so fast that it can be an awkward position in some cases.
Check it out. Anybody for sushi?
Later? Right now? No.
So you can fly up there with Wonder Woman, but it doesn't do you any good in the long run because you need Flash and Wonder Woman to complete everything that you need to do up there. So we just need Wonder Woman up here for now to pull on this with a lasso.
Hopeless! Brainiac's tearing this ship apart!
We're not giving up. There's gotta be a way past.
So I do use Wonder Woman for this part in those cases just because of the boomerang that she has. Because it can be a little bit awkward to break the screens on the back wall. So now again we just need Wonder Woman for this to reflect with her bracers. So we'll just take her for a fly and ignore those enemies completely. Try not to land in the laser, because that will kill you. To break these, you've got to follow along with them, otherwise you can end up not breaking them fast enough and they'll cool down continuously.
Batman, we're at the elevator controls. Preparing to activate.
Good work. We're ready to go.
You also need to wait for someone there,
Okay, now I'm ready.
otherwise you'll usually end up on a loop
Good luck,
of
guys.
pulling one, other character pulling
We're
another.
running out of time.
Oh, what's the rush?
I'm so glad you brought him along.
So we're going to use the giant suit here. Giant suits have a higher and longer jump than a normal character, so we can sometimes abuse those in order to do jumps like that. Fortunately, the hit plane, or the death plane, for that is literally right on the edge of that fourth platform. So, if you touch it even ever so slightly, you will die, as if you were falling to your death. So you've got to be really careful where you land, really. And you also don't want to be pushing a direction when you land. Otherwise you would roll and usually end up falling to your death as well. Just wanted to try that there, because
Do you like magnets, Cyborg? I thought you'd find them
I hadn't actually tested there to see if you could pull the door off beforehand. So it seems like you've got to have activated that blue magnet in order to actually activate the door. So whilst you could continue on with the level with just Cyborg, you actually need both of the other characters on the other side here for two of their different suits to finish the level, or to finish this part of the level. Because you need Batman's freeze suit and you need the Joker's flower suit to mind control a character on the other side of the glass wall. I'm actually going to have to switch back to Cyborg because that missile didn't hit him apparently. There we go.
Impressive.
Again, we need a giant suit here. Unfortunately, there's nothing really we can use on that position.
The security scanner's not letting us through.
Stay put for now, Robin. We'll take care of it.
So, because we have all the suits that we need, we can just skip the entire puzzle of that area and use the flower suit that we already have in order to mind control the character there.
The grapple guns. We need to aim them at Brainiac's ship.
Then what are we waiting for?
So, this is where we can actually soft lock here. Fortunately, we didn't. The thing that was meant to be there was there. So we can activate that door. So now we need Lex at the moment. He has a spacesuit as well, which means he's got a jetpack. But, as always, we need fuel for it. But, again, as always, not much fuel. Just need to get enough fuel to be able to break this down. And then we can just use Robin to go continue from there. Because we already have the magnet suit, we can actually target something on the roof above us to change suits there. In order to be ready on the magnet suit for later.
This is all too easy. Your security systems are pathetic, Boy Wonder.
No wonder this guy has so much trouble getting people to vote for him.
So we need a tech suit here, so we need the illumination suit for the next area, but because we need the tech suit, we stick with it and then we switch to it once we've done that. So usually you would have to swim through the water, but you can just sort of work your way down there with a single jump. We do actually need Robin here, I always forget that, because we need his tech suit up on the top there to activate the grapples to end the level.
Grapple guns are ready. We just need to target Brainiac's ship.
Let's get this over with. I can't stand all this good guy stuff.
So because we just need Robin, there's a single button elevator rather than a three-person elevator. So there we go. That was the big grapple. And that's a gold split. So now we have the introduction of the lanterns, at least in the New Game Plus run. You'd have seen them throughout the cutscenes in a N% run.
How are we supposed to find the control room in this ridiculous spaceship?
Well, aren't we the optimist? Those levers look like they control the shield.
Security cameras, always around when you don't need them.
So we have a stealth suit for Lex as well. And we need Lex, although Batman has a stealth suit, he doesn't have a radioactivity suit. So we need to use Lex for both suits in order to get through. I have tried getting over with Batman through various means, but there is an invisible wall which
Okay, settle down.
sort of stops you on the other side, on the barrier. So now we have the first seeing of Grundy's ability, which he basically decomposes into the ground and finds basically whatever you need, really. Like here, you need a chainsaw, got it. Later on, you need a cannon, got it.
Another obstacle? It's almost like Brainiac's toying with us.
No one makes a toy out of Batman. Well, maybe a minifigure.
Character switching in this game is a little bit awkward, just because, again, they put the suits onto the same button as you change character with, so in story mode you can't actually select who you switch to using the character switch button like you can in most other games. So we need to break this in order for the next part to actually activate. If you don't do that, then the game refuses to let you use the tech panel up at the top of it, around here. We're going to use the giant suit here, because it doesn't walk as slow and it can still walk through everything basically. Hopefully we've done it. Nope. Okay, we still need to activate something down here. Apparently. I'm not quite sure what. Okay, that's done it. I'm not sure what part of it triggers the actual activation of the tech suit panel. Maybe we've got to destroy everything there. I'm not quite sure, honestly. So now we need the Flash here, so we switch to the Flash build anyway, because he's the fastest builder. He builds at about double speed of what
Hey,
you usually would.
Batman!
What's your situation, Robin?
I'm in Brainiac's system. You'll need to go through the door on the right. I'll open it now.
That's the left door, Robin.
Hello? Sorry, Batman. I'm trying. There! Got it open just in time.
Well, that's one way of looking at it.
I hope Batman's okay. He sounded kind of mad.
He'll be fine. It's not like Batman's the type to seek revenge or anything.
I'm detecting a power source behind those doors.
So now this part of the level is just a variety of switching, basically between Cyborg and Robin here. So we use Robin here, then we use Cyborg to come up, get some fuel.
Booyah! Some more jetpack fuel for Cyborg.
I had a jetpack until Batman decided to hitch a lift that one time.
Then we activate some more magnets. Over here. Electric suit. Nope, I'm missing something. Yep. Actually need to drain this over here. Charge the sprout. Really all we need to do is activate that switch over on the right side there. So if we could get Robin up here on his own, the switch is always active. So no idea what was happening there. If we could get Robin up here early in some fashion, then all we need to do is pull that switch. Go. And sometimes trying to switch suits can also be a pain. Magnet suit, Robin. Magnet suit. Right next to a magnet hammer should have an auto key to switch to magnet suit.
Guess he wouldn't be called Brainiac if he didn't enjoy a little puzzle solving.
So we need Cyborg here. So we're going to use him to move these magnets, even though Robin can do it. And then, after going through, we're going to switch to his demolition suit. So then we can blow up these things that are there in here. And all that stuff will do next area.
Brainiac's got lasers? That's my thing!
So I'm going to take Wonder Woman here because we'll need her in a second anyway. And she's faster to get up here with. I should have actually broken this whilst I was here, but I forgot about it, so we'll do it now. Which lets us reflect this back here.
Good going, team.
And this takes us through to the boss fight. Which isn't really a boss fight, you just gotta wait around and then punch him once.
For you, the end comes now.
Because obviously someone called Brainiac
For any of Earth's heroes.
spends most of his time
Guys, not again.
studying
Brainiac mind control.
rather than working on his physique, plus it is an android. So he's stuck with the body he's got really.
You meaningless fool. Your physical form shall be deleted.
So this basically ends up just being a fight the minions. Once they're all gone, it activates the next part.
Human beings repulse me.
I have to move away from back there. It's kind of difficult to see where the enemy was.
What you're dealing with.
And then because we've already got control of Grundy, we'll keep control of Grundy just to hit him. And that's all you need to do, hit him once. Wherever he is, it doesn't matter.
Let's get after him.
This happened. It makes me so mad.
And this is just a small auto-scroller section. Nothing to do will speed you up.
So annoying.
Don't give up, Wonder Woman. We've almost got him.
So, you can use this time to relax for a moment. Oh, I accidentally activated the trigger there. There we go. We're making good time. Now we're on Europa Game Set. And this level, with 2 flying characters, is basically entirely optimized around preventing the flying characters from going anywhere that they're not meant
You're
to.
only delaying the
So
inevitable.
there are invisible walls
Delaying the inevitables are
everywhere,
specialty.
basically.
Sweet Batman.
So you've got to break that in order to continue a flying character, although they can obviously get across,
The world's
can't
finest
get
heroes
across.
are still no
And
match.
any way you can get across, the level is basically entirely
It's like a shrink ray
designed
in reverse mode.
around Batman's abilities
Come on,
in most
Batman.
cases.
Don't you have a suit that goes underwater or something?
So there, you've got to have Batman's swimsuit. Here, you've got to have Demolition suit. And it's like that throughout the level, basically. Like, you could probably play the entire level just as that way,
Hey,
and you'd be
we were at
perfectly
that
fine.
restaurant earlier.
Let's move it, guys! Brainiac's gonna shrink the city if we don't stop it!
You still persist? I think you're confusing bravery with outright foolishness.
So here I'm just trying to get rid of some of these terrain details whilst we're waiting for enemies to spawn. Just then I'm not targeting them instead of the enemies. So now we're just waiting for this cutscene to trigger. Once all the enemies are dead, it takes a little while for the
Hey, the bus
trigger.
is bright red.
And the taxi cabs are black. I kinda like this place.
I'm still faster than the trains here, right?
So there is a little skip there that you can do. However, I've found that it actually prevents Superman and Wonder Woman from progressing through the level. So they'll end up just staying over here. So we pull it down and it should mean that Superman and Wonder Woman will follow with us along the level. Because we'll need Superman for one single section later on.
So now, Superman, we need to figure out a way to take down Brainiac.
So again, in most cases where you're using your action, you don't need to worry about the enemies around you.
No one can
And that
stop
part of
the
the
mighty Brainiac.
thing that you want to be doing whilst running LEGO games, try not to fight as much as you can, basically. So here's where we need Superman, because we can't target those with Batman's spacesuit from where he is. But Superman can use his heat vision whilst he's flying. Sometimes it can take a little while for the golden pieces to trigger. And basically once you're stuck in the toxic goop, you can't get out unless you're pushed outside the game. And this is where I find the targeting priority frustrating, because I want to be targeting a blue thing right in front of me. But no, I don't actually need to. Whoops.
There. Brainiac's going to shrink the palace.
So rich with history. This will make a fine addition to my collection.
So again, we have wave after wave of enemies now. I'm actually going to start fighting with Superman on these, probably, because he can't actually die. And as long as you're continuously moving whilst you're pressing your fight button, you shouldn't end up breathing your ice breath. Okay. I could use my heat breathing here, but because you've got two characters around you to get in the way, it can get a little bit frustrating trying to kill them whilst another ally is trying to kill them at the same time.
Haven't you learned by now? There is no stopping me.
This is also one of the places where the game can soft lock. I have had the game soft lock on the third part of this. On the third part of this boss fight, where basically you trigger the mirror.
There's gotta be another way.
If we could redirect that shrink ray back towards him,
You can trigger the mirror to shrink him.
now's our chance. Let's get him.
Quickly.
However,
we won't have long before he recovers.
it doesn't shrink him. You can hear the noise, the sound that
That showed him.
happens
Let's
when
finish this
you
metal monster.
hit him with a shrink ray, but it doesn't actually do anything.
Such pitiful creatures! You're not worthy of facing Brainiac.
So again, as you see, he likes doing waves, so we have 2 waves of enemies here, and then obviously on the third stage, we're going to have 3 waves of enemies, where they happen in waves of 3, basically. Didn't matter who we actually got there because both Wonder Woman and Batman can pull those rope markers.
How is this possible?
So, here's to not soft locking.
It's already too late. Your planet belongs to me now.
That was the first wave. This is the second wave. It also seems that you're impervious to the shrink wave ray whilst you're using your heat video. No, so there we go. It didn't soft lock. Very nice. Now we're on to Big Trouble in Little Gotham, which is a very nice stage, and it's where you start seeing skips again. At least in the first 2 parts. They're not made to skip because the areas are so tiny.
Attack my minions!
But they're still skips.
You're not gonna turn evil on me, right, Luthor?
So,
Of course
first off,
not. How
we
could
need
I
to be
not help someone who's been
grabbing
filled with so
Lego
much
bits,
fear?
so we can use the giant suit to get up here, and then pick up these Lego bits here. I believe that's everything there. So whilst I'm in my suit, I'm going to break these things up because we'll need them broken for this bit here, if we can get these enemies out of the way. The problem with these enemies is that they are spawning on a continuous cycle, so they will continuously get in your way. So here we need
So much debris.
cyborgs.
I wouldn't want it lying around in my city. We should clean it up.
Yeah, we could make something to fight Brainiac. but
rocket
I'm not
demolition
sure.
suit,
Don't listen to
then
me.
I switch away from the shield suit because the hazard suit and the giant suit are next to each other, and as you've seen before, the giant suit can go through the debris. We then have these magnetic parts, where each of these have 10 pieces inside of these. So we just have to break 2 of them, and we'll have all the pieces that we need. Or at least we should, if we're collecting them all. Which probably means there's still 2 on the brief. Which we can't get to again, so we are going to have to open this up. Just grab a couple of pieces. Yeah, that's all of them.
We should throw this at Brainiac's ship. But I wouldn't like that if it happened to me.
We've got to throw it to stop Brainiac, but what if I miss?
So, it says Cyborg's meant to throw it, but again, Lex Luthor has a giant
do
suit of his
hope he's all
own,
right.
and we're already basically
Let's send him a present
on
to
that.
say we're sorry.
So I just use Lex rather than switching to Cyborg and switching suits.
So much fun!
Flash is a star of this, but we need the electricity to activate the next part, so unfortunately we have to actually use Joker in that point. So, even though it's a little awkward to move, you can get the Flash up there from the gate, which then lets you get up here relatively quickly and activate this to move on to the next part.
We'll meet again. Oh, why do I suddenly love the name Ferris?
I wanted a Ferris wheel, but I'll build something even better.
Let's give Brainiac a closer look at our lovely roller coaster.
So, if we didn't need the electricity,
Mine.
we could have just used Flash the entire time here. But, as I said, we need electricity, so we have to get the electricity first.
At least what's left of it.
How come you got to press the button to stop Brainiac? I wanted to press it.
Grundy, hope this all work out for the best.
Stop being so optimistic, Grundy. You're cramping my bad girl image.
Cheetah, we need Grundy's optimism. Now more than ever. I bet there's something in those botanical gardens we can use.
Right. Just need to get that giant plant out of the way. Let's find the roots.
Solomon Grundy hoped that route not far away.
For some reason, Grundy is in the way there. He doesn't usually do that. So, he doesn't actually even need to be over here. We just need Cheetah and Robin over this side. So, him being there is just getting in the way, basically.
Did this to me. Could have been the Joker, Penguin, Riddler, or even Catwoman.
So we'll need Cheetah in a second. So she usually actually ends up staying in there if you don't move her out. So I'm going to, whilst it's growing, move her around anyway. Now we need Grundy. And his big fists. Here you've got to position yourself sort of in between where the leaves of the plant are, because they will get in your way when you're trying to hit this golden part on the plant root. Fortunately, Grundy is getting in our way here. Again, positioning is important on this bit.
We did it! The plant's retracting!
Grundy, can you find anything to use against Brainiac?
Solomon Grundy hopes so.
Wow, that's just what we need. Guess all that hoping worked, Grundy.
I call it luck.
So that's the third part of the level. Now, the levels are usually split up into 3 parts, but unfortunately, we've still got a boss level. Boss fight to go through.
From other worlds.
So we're going to need
Quickly! That's my specialty.
the
Mine! No one else can act quickly except
demolition
me.
suit here. So we switch to that straight away. And then I'll just switch to the Flash to do some fighting, just because basically anything that gets in the way is annoying. So I'm going to fight the enemies and get rid of as much strain as possible whilst we're waiting. That's the start of the point that we need to be going for. So we're going to switch to Batman now. So that wasn't what we needed the rockets for. We need that in a second. Whoops. We need that to trigger that. Actually going to use Wonder Woman here. That goes straight for it rather than having a rocket style trajectory.
Did it! Now where's that reward?
Don't plan any parties just yet, Flash.
Firing a giant laser. It's just so aggravating.
Wonder Woman, your bracelets could come in handy here.
So because Flash builds past us here, we're going to switch to him because we have a load coming over us. And then we switch straight to Wonder Woman. And for some reason, it expects you to realise that you can shoot at these teeth here, even though they're not gold.
My turn, my turn. It's all about me now.
Unfortunately, some of the enemies got in the way a couple of times there, which delayed everything just a little bit. And that's the level done. The only real way for us to save time there would be to not mess up on the Flash's part, because the first time I messed up as well. Other than that, everything is pretty much optimized.
You think
other
this
than the
place looks
boss
angry
fights.
enough?
Yeah, Atrocitus and the rest of the Red Lantern Corps aren't exactly into yoga.
Careful, team. Try not to fall into the
So we've
red
got all the
stuff.
rage and need for greed as on the next 2 levels, in which basically Green Lantern and Grundy are the stars of this show, because those are the people who can actually do the skips.
That shield looks like it belonged to the Manhunters.
What? Like Martian Manhunter?
No, they were a race of robots created by the Guardians.
History lesson's over. Let's find a way inside.
Unfortunately, basically everything is solid in this game, so Lego pieces that have been just broken are solid. Characters are always solid, including your own friends, allies.
Watch out for that laser, guys! What is a crashed ship doing here?
Well, it could be from when Abin Sur came to rescue a ship.
Grundy not care.
So we'll need Grundy if he decides to follow us. The problem with not fighting a lot of enemies is that you can find that they pile up quite a lot. So you can end up blocking the path of most of your characters sometimes. Got to be a little bit patient when activating things like this, especially with characters that have what is the flying character? Just to get up here. So, the first part, no
Almost
skips in
there.
it,
Also, the red power battery
because everything was
upgraded.
designed for
Everyone chill, okay?
How can I chill when I'm full of Red Lantern rage? That's
it was basically designed for flying around. So we need that to stay like this because we can climb on it, sort of. It will slip you around depending on where you are standing on it. So sometimes you need to continuously move yourself around. But once you find a position where you can stand, you can jump over here, punch twice, that should let you jump, and then if you can, get over to that waterfall. you can either run or slide across, which skips breaking things open, getting the Green Lantern to do things. So there we can just do that. We need to break these. I believe these are an essential part of actually getting things done. But now, all we need is the Green Lantern. So, we can just pull him up. Because he can fly. We could actually use Wonder Woman as well. However, we need Green Lantern's bit to dig up here. And then because the transition to the boss fight counts as a screen transition, everything comes along with this. So here you just want to sort of fly around, avoiding this laser beam if you can. It doesn't really matter if you do or not. You then want to try and get Bull to die as quickly as possible. So there are certain places where you can try and stand, where he'll sort of crash into a wall instead, in most cases. But it seems to be a bit random on if that happens or not.
Now's our chance. Anyone here ever been to a rodeo?
I have, actually.
The boss fights on these Lantern planets are relatively easy all round, because they're designed to be quite short little levels, probably about 10 minutes length, without skips each. We're going to try standing here, see if it crashes. There we go, that's a decent position to be standing in. That one wasn't, because he appeared in a strange place. Got one more cycle of this to do, and then we'll finish the level. Reset him back there, so we're going to stand here again. And there we go. Should. One more cycle. And then he's back up to the rodeo stage. There we go. All the rage is done. I only saved 2 seconds there because I was fumbling around on the skip a little bit, but that's alright. So, now we're moving on to Need for Greed, which is the Orange Lantern's level. And again, Green Lantern and Grundy are the
Let's find Larfleeze and get off this stupid planet!
skippers in this level basically. Because Grundy, being the large character, has his larger than normal jump, you can actually just jump straight across there. And funnily enough, you only need Grundy and the Green Lantern for this next level, so because you can jump across there, and there's no other gaps to get across, you don't need to pull anyone else across with you. Unfortunately, whilst Grundy's underground, you can't switch characters, so you have to stick with him whilst he's doing this.
Wow, that's just what we need.
So we can't switch back to Green Lantern until now.
Don't cover a judge by its book.
The only problem with doing all this is that because we don't have the options of switching characters properly like the rest of the LEGO games do, when Grundy and Green Lantern get into this area, things can get a little bit awkward for switching back to the characters that we want to. So I'm going to take the time and actually repeat some of these here, because otherwise Green Lantern sort of gets stuck over where the shield used to be. So I'm going to jump up here and then jump across here, so we're not taking down river again. And then hopefully Green Lantern is still here with us. So then we're not switching between characters, desperately looking for him. There we go. No idea why he was down there. So we could go and do the Yellow Tower now, but because that's where the door is anyway, we'll head over here and do this instead. I've taken to using my laser here because the vines on the branches can actually get in the way of the projectiles, meaning that they don't go through properly, which can just waste time, so I prefer to use a laser to break things there now.
Oh boy, a door puzzle. They're just so frustrating.
Yes. Well, anyway, we should look around for a way to get inside the temple.
I don't see Larflex.
All the same, I bet that statue is our way to the orange power battery chamber.
We'll need to bribe the statue with something.
Bribe the statue?
So here, unfortunately, the height of the gap is too big, so we can't skip over anything here. Because we need Grundy up top to pull those green handles down, we need Grundy up there. So we have to do what's intended there and activate this fan. Fortunately, it's only that one thing that you need to do. And then you just need Wonder Woman up there with you. The rest of them can stay wherever. And then again, as with all the puzzles, the sequence is always the same. You don't have to worry about it. Once you've learnt it once, you don't have to learn it again. It's always the same on both sides, like this. You just gotta make sure that you don't accidentally hit one of the other panels in the wrong order.
Wonder Woman angry.
So
Get it.
now we're meant to do a little puzzle to get across here, build a bridge for Grundy, etc, etc. However, there is this little bit here that lets you get a little bit of extra height. So with a well-timed jump, you can actually make it across. I need to test something as well. Yes. Doing a punch can actually help get across as well. Although it wastes a little bit of time because it's a long attack animation, really. But if you don't think you're going to make it across, then you can use that in order to actually get across. And then that just means that you need, again, Grundy and Wonder Woman in this section.
No, I know what to get a statue for its birthday.
Oh, wow! You have birthday parties for your statues, too?
What?
So since we have control of Wonder Woman there, we'll just use her to pull on that with her lasso. Since it's either Green Lantern or Wonder Woman that you'll use to pull that down with. Now I haven't actually experienced anything, but with the way that those coins work and the fact that they're physics-based, they're not generated,
I know you don't want to
you can probably actually
thieves,
get a
all
soft
of you.
lock
So
there
much for trying to reason with Agent Orange.
some reason
Now what?
for
You're
the
asking
coins
us?
probably falling down the hole and preventing something from raising up.
Come steal my shinies.
But again, I've never actually experienced it. It's probably a very rare thing to happen. So for this fight, you're essentially waiting for something to happen.
Larkleys, please! This fighting is meaningless!
You're meaningless.
So we want to be up in the air, sort of, for when this sword is happening. It doesn't really matter. Like I said, you're waiting for stuff to happen. So, as long as you're in the right position for everything, it doesn't matter if you get killed, where or when, or whatever. You need to be Solomon Grundy though, because it's going to make a
Come back here, Green Lantern.
panel where he can go down. Like so.
Are you touching my stuff over there? Stop touching my stuff.
So whilst we're under the ground, we don't actually have to worry about anything.
I want it. It's mine. Ah, that hurts. Where's the shiny go? I want more boom boom shinies. Ah, that hurts. Okay, so you want to talk? Let's talk.
So again, we're just going to be waiting for something, so
Orange light.
we can just sit around here again. So that hammer fall brought down these pieces over here, which we can use to get the Green Lantern to build something for him.
Here you go, Larfleeze. A present from the Green Lantern Corps.
What's happening? What have you done?
So now we've just got these last 3 hits to put onto the boss. Unfortunately, unlike LEGO Batman 1, ally hitting the boss doesn't actually give it invincibility frames. In fact, I don't think it even does any damage to the boss. So you don't have to worry about them actually doing anything, really. Now we're moving on to Blue Hope, which is the only of the 5 random order Lantern planets that doesn't actually have a skip in it. Everything is based on triggers.
This is Martian Manhunter. We have engaged the Reach.
But why would a race of giant blue insects want to attack Odom?
Obviously because the Blue Lanterns have something they want.
The Reach want to steal our central power battery to consume its energy.
See? I was right.
Taking out the Reach mothership is our greatest chance to succeed.
Thank you. Please be careful and remember, all will be well.
I want to chase these around here because there's some more coming up here. And they were all mostly going the opposite direction to it. So you sort of want to be chasing in the opposite direction of whatever is coming around. So the lasers are good for taking out these sort of insectoid creatures. However, the bullets that you make are very good for taking out the other ships. So you sort of need to decide where and when to grab the lasers to use. So there's a missile over on our left. So we'll shoot that off. Then we'll go back round for it. There we go. So now we'll continue around this way because there's another missile here. And we missed getting the missile. But we need them for this part. To get rid of these micro ones, basically. So we're going to take the shield just to be safe. And basically, as soon as we see a target reticle, we're going to try and shoot the worm.
To St. Walker. We have neutralized the mothership.
Manhunter. Attack. Help immediately.
Did that sound scary to anyone else?
St. Walker, the signal is gone. We must find and assist him now.
And there we go, that's this part done. It went pretty well, only died once, which means we didn't have a lot to mess up on.
This is where St. Walker's signal was lost. He should still be close by.
This planet seems nice. Maybe we'll be safe here and not get ambushed. Ah! It's an ambush! We're not safe! It's not a nice planet! Help!
So again, because the Flash is so fast, he can be this position in there. So even though I pressed X in order to start trying to build that thing, we couldn't actually do so because I'd slightly overshot the target.
Oh man, I don't even
So
want
you've got
to
to be
think about what that tentacle
very,
is doing.
very soft with your movements
Forgive me,
when
my
you're trying
large
to be
friend,
precise with the
but we
flash.
must pass. Oh dear. Perhaps I should have offered it some Chunko's cookies instead.
Something that isn't really well labelled is this exit here. I didn't actually realise that was there until my third playthrough of the level. Because there isn't any studs or anything that appear to let you know that it's there, unlike the next position that happens like that, where it actually puts studs down there and tells you, hey, you can go this way.
We did it! Did you think it's really going?
I don't think we should wait to find out. Unless it comes back with presents for us.
So we're sticking with the demolition cyborg here. We need him right here. And then we need him to cut continuously on in this next bit.
Now what?
So here you need to switch to cyborg, but if you haven't moved
I fear that
Martian
at this size, my
Manhunter
chances of
into a
fighting this
certain
tentacle are
position,
not good.
then it doesn't matter if you move cyborg into the right position. Martian Manhunter will continue on his own. You've got to place him right next to the tentacle, basically. I don't know why I pulled Martian Manhunter out of there, because we only need cyborg for this next bit. And the AI is good enough to know that Martian Manhunter needs to come out anyway, so we'll follow you.
I hope you've come in time. Sidewalker, we disabled the Reach mothership, but they're still attacking.
A Scarab Beetle is heading for the Blue Lantern power battery. We have to stop it.
Again, positionings here can be a little bit awkward. You've got to be right in the centre of this panel in order to activate it. You can be on either of the four parts of the cross, and it won't activate to your B press. But that's the Blue Hope anyway. And we're still making very good time on it. So now we're moving on to Jailhouse Knot. There it is. This level doesn't really have many, well,
what is this place?
very many skips. There's only one, which is
Alien
basically
invaders built
right
these cells
here.
a long time ago. Now they're simply ruins.
Scary ruins! Why can't we ever stumble across an ancient candy store or something?
In which, again, we abuse a giant suit. So we head through
Watch
here.
out for that drop, guys! It looks like a long way down!
I can fly on ahead.
You meant to take Martian Manhunter ahead, use his abilities over there.
We must attempt to remove it.
Flash can actually get across with his long jump, but with Cyborg's giant suit, you wouldn't expect him to be able to make the jump. However, for some reason, there is floor there. So with a well-timed jump, you can make it over to the floor and get straight across. And Cyborg's all that you need for this part here.
The Indigo Tribe.
Get out of here! Big, ugly, power-smelling morons!
She doesn't seem very wise and compassionate.
It seems that Indigo 1 has been affected along with the others. We need to go after her.
Copy that. But why do you think the Indigo Tribe is so...
Perhaps the Indigo power battery holds the answer. We need to go over the A statue of Abin Sur, founder of the Indigo Tribe.
I thought it was a Green Lantern. Why did the Indigo Tribe have a statue of him?
I am not a tour guide, Flash. We need to concentrate on getting past these doors.
So now we're going to switch to the Flash because we've got to go through these gates in a certain order, which is the order they're opened in. So you don't have to worry about that, it's always the same as well. So, and it will put studs like this in the gates that you need to go
Our way
through.
in, guys. Let's go.
If you go through the wrong gates, the gates will close, you'll have to open them again, and you'll have to start the
Guess that
chain
means
again.
there's no turning back.
So you can use that rock there to not have to build the bottom of the magnetic panel. You can just climb straight up. You want to be on the magnet suit there, so then you attach to the magnet panel straight away. Need to be the Flash here because we're going to be building a treadmill pad again. Hopefully, either Martian Manhunter or Cyborg will end up travelling up with this. Cyborg did for a little while, but unfortunately fell off.
Stop following me, you unbelievably annoying little pests!
I didn't realize she knew you, Cyborg.
Hey!
So again, we do the same here, but this time we've got 4 gates and 2 of these panels. So we put one person on. And we've got another person on. Sort of wanted to change to Flash there, but it seems to be refusing to let me. So we'll change in a second here. So go through here, through here, through the right one there, and through the left. And now we're onto the boss fight,
Big, ugly, power
which basically involves
The central power battery fills
Flash,
the Indigo Tribe with compassion.
Martian Manhunter and Cyborg.
A whole planet of remorseless criminals? This day gets better all the time.
So I like to use Martian Manhunter there, in order to deal the first point of damage to Indigo 1. because she likes to jump around until you've done the damage to her. And then you also need him to
Come and get me, you worthlessly
activate the magnet panels on this bit here.
I know she doesn't have any compassion. Does she have to keep insulting us like that?
And that basically just brings the thing down to us and let's start again. And her hitbox is active all the time as well. So even if she's running from one point to another, you can still hit her with the laser beam.
The central power battery now.
I hope there is still some compassion left in Indigo 1. Otherwise, it will not work.
And then all the Flash is doing here is building this back up. A lot of work you did there, isn't it? Again, went very well there. We only failed to skip once, which means that we did a lot better than we did the first time round. Now we've got a pretty big skip for the most part in these levels, in this level. And it all mostly revolves around Cyborg and his giant suit.
They're actually
And
attacking us, right? It's not just me being
actually
scared.
his solar suit, his jetpack. Because for some reason, that's the jump that it does actually lets you go off a wall that you shouldn't be able to go off, basically. But first we're going to use Martian Manhunter to do one bit that is a requirement for it, basically. Essentially, we need this force field out of the way. Which doesn't take much, all you gotta do is break that. So, now we get Silver Suit up. I'm just gonna get rid of this person here just because it's going to be annoying. And there we go. We're over the gate. There we go. Still need to learn the order of the suits for Cyborg, really. Because whilst you're moving, you can change suits without it wasting any time. And in that magnetic thing is jetpack fuel. And I don't know if they actually expect you to get jetpack fuel for Cyborg to get up here, but you can just jump on that crystal and get up.
Now that's something I should be scared of. Having a pet like that was awesome. I want one.
That force field. We're trapped.
Trapped? Oh no! Game over!
Remain calm, Cyborg. We need to find a way to fight that beast.
So now we're on to the boss fight. And as with all the, most of the boss fights, it is trigger based rather than actual fighting based. You got to do one thing, it loses a heart, it moves on to another position, rather than what you would call a generic boss fight, really.
It worked! But where'd the monster go?
And these cutscenes are time-based, so really you can get into position as you need to. whilst you're waiting for the cutscene to happen.
The creature appears to have a weakness for romance.
I hope you're not suggesting we ask it out.
So it's fortunate or unfortunate enough to get 2 of those pieces broken. Unfortunately it didn't break the 3rd, so I had to do that manually. Not sure what actually moved me there, probably the meteorite. What's for dinner? Dynamite! Makes for an explosive relationship, I guess.
Hey, I wanted that back. It's mine.
So now we've got to wait around a little bit. We have to wait for the boss to basically break something down.
Back again! You said this place wouldn't be scary, Manhunter, and I believed you!
Cyborg, we must try and remain calm.
There we go.
And concentrate on the task at hand.
Maybe we actually need another piece for it. So we're waiting for that as well. Yep, there we go. And one final piece. And that should be... Unfortunately, whilst building things, you aren't actually immune to the damage that enemies can cause. So that's Power of Blood. Now we're on to the next Lantern level, which is Awkward Situation, which unlocks after you've done the other 5 Lantern levels. And there is a skip on here that I'm going to try only once, because it can be a very difficult one to do. And it involves using Batman's electric suit to get onto an electrified surface that you're not meant to be able to get onto.
I warned you, Jordan. Now face the power of the Sinestro Corps!
I don't like the sound of that.
Don't be afraid, Robin. That's what Sinestro wants.
Strength, give me that. How do we defeat this thing, Hal?
Gotcha.
So you need to sort of use your missile a little bit earlier than you expect to. Otherwise it'll end up going over the top of the train. It'll have to loop back round to it, and if there's something in the way,
I can smell your fear.
then it will hit that instead.
I'm not afraid. Nothing is stronger than the power of will.
It goes down into the lava,
Indomitable will.
and then it'll come up in one of these pieces. Out of one of the tubes, basically. Fortunately, before we died there, we managed to shoot a missile straight off at it. So the missile was still travelling. Didn't actually hit him, it hit a silver piece. So we have to go around and do it again. Which wasn't so bad.
Pitiful. This green menace has simply become a giant puppet.
Don't worry about me, guys. Save yourselves!
Put him down, Sinestro.
Quickly! After him before it's too late!
So now we need demolition suit here.
They're Thunderers, helpless under the control of Sinestro.
So now we need a large character. Apparently Grundy was too busy burning in lava. So now we need Batman and his electricity suit. You can actually do simple platforming, I guess. Because there isn't usually anything to stand on here. However, because for some reason they think you still need tutorials in this area, they give you
who's the big guy?
I don't know, but it sure doesn't look like he's here to sell ice cream.
So you can actually jump from here using this as a boost. If you can time yourself well. Really, you don't want to be jumping at all once you're actually on there. And that will let you carry yourself up. And then you've sort of got to wait for it to come down again, I guess. I don't actually remember how I did it first time I completed it again. Just get that guy out of the way, it's going to be annoying. One more time. Just one down. You can count on the rotating platforms when it should be coming down. Come on. Okay, whatever. Right, you're gonna go after it's been squashed, straight after it's been squashed. And I don't know why that kills you. There must be a hurt trigger right on it, basically. I'm losing a decent chunk of time there, but I also did this the first time. I don't know why it changes characters sometimes when you press Y and hold it. So here you can use Batman's laser beam, however, if you position yourself quickly enough, and then you can actually just use this guy's laser beam to break it instead.
Grundy crush, yellow pajama man!
I admire your persistence, but it will not be enough.
Let him go, Sinestro. I know a thing or two about fear myself.
You know nothing of fear, Batman. Nothing!
Sounds like they're not afraid of you, Sinestro.
So,
And neither
this
am I.
area, there's a few ways you can go about doing things. You're meant to activate this belt with the Green Lantern.
Great to have you back, Hal. Good thing you were.
However, if you're persistent enough, you can get Batman onto this handrail anyway. And then, since you just need him with his sensor suit, you can just go straight through. And then we need the electric suit in a second. So we'll just switch through to that one. And that's just to bring Grundy up, because we need a large character to break something up at the top here. Otherwise, we'd usually just...
This is your final Joel. Leave before someone
Otherwise,
really
we'd just
gets
use a
hurt.
flying character to get up there, really. But because we need Grundy to get a handle on the situation, we have to do everything, unfortunately. And then there isn't actually a boss fight for this level. Unlike the rest of the Lantern levels, you just have a single quick time event, really. And that's the level done. So that was the second to last level. And then we have Breaking the Ice, which is the last level, and it's all trigger based. So there are no skips in it, essentially. And it's all done in the same place, although it's screen transitions 3 times because
Guys,
cutscenes.
we need to get the rest of the lanterns to focus their energy here.
Oh, hurry! I don't know how much longer I can hold off Sinestro.
I'm here to take back what's mine. And everything is mine!
So now it tells you to beat on the orange lantern, but he jumps away before you can get to him, so you've got to go through a set of wave set of minions, basically. Which isn't so hard because there isn't as many of these laser beams at the moment. However, there will be soon, which sort of makes things tricky for the next set of minions that will be coming from the Red Lantern.
Where is it? Where's my shiny?
Good. He's firing his beam. Try and get him to direct it towards the focal point.
What's happening? What have you done?
You weak, pathetic fools! I've come for my power battery!
I don't think so. Watch out, team. He seems a little grumpy.
So whilst waiting for minions to get over here, we're just going to get rid of some of those so then we're not accidentally attacking them whilst trying to take out some of this guy's minions. And there we go.
He's in position. Grundy, now.
Grundy got you! What are you doing? Get away from me!
Fire his laser into the middle. Now, Superman.
I never thought it would come to this. Batman versus Superman.
So,
Where's
again,
that
we're going
kryptonite when you need
to
it?
clear out
Realized.
certain
Batcave
things.
was shrunk along with Gotham City.
And the kryptonite was in the Batcave? Perfect.
We need a distraction to buy us some time. Maybe I can call for backup.
Just then we're not fighting these pieces of ice when we are trying to break other things. I'm going to stick with the Flash here because building things again faster if you're using Flash or Superman. And now we wait for something else. There we go. Apparently Flash being on top of it broke the first one. So that's a little sound save apparently. Again, gotta find the position. In order to build things. In fact, I think this here still needs to be broken. Just for some reason it didn't break itself. And there we go. We built that thing.
Now that's what I call some serious backup. Quickly, we need to send those bats towards Superman.
We did it! Now what?
As long as Brainiac doesn't send more of his minions to attack us, we should be able to.
Attack my minions! Attack!
Oh, you were saying?
You fools! Nothing can stop me now!
So as you can expect, you just gotta beat this wave of minions to progress.
This is my world now!
And then I've got to remember that time ends when the Flash hops up off the treadmill because that's when you lose control.
You're only going
Bad news, team. Looks like Superman's overcome his little bat problem. Oh man, we gotta think of something. This whole situation is just...
No one can stop the mighty Brainiac! No one! I'm beginning to admire your magnificent stupidity.
we go.
Stop the mighty Brainiac.
So now we want to do the flash again because we're going to kill all this stuff.
Let's get to work. We can build something to generate the power we need.
You got it. Let's hope this works.
Again, for the plan's right position to build the stuff that you need.
It's ready. Quickly, charge up the power flash.
Quickly, as if there was any other way to do it. Time for some serious speed.
And then time, and now.
Sorry, Superman. This might steal.
236.28. Very nice. Although I think 235 is probably very capable to do.